teams desperately fighting for their postseason lives, and tonight they meet at Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The Pittsburgh Panthers visiting the Seton Hall Pirates. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Jim Spinarco. Thanks so much for joining us for Big East basketball. After losing its last four, Pittsburgh now has its sights on perhaps an NIT bid for the first time in 4 years. And Jim, they of course are led by the great all Big East performer Ricardo Greer, but they're getting great production of late from someone who ought to know a thing or two about Seton Hall basketball.
A little bit over here. Brandon Knight from Seton Hall Prep, a local kid, a local star here, has really stepped up for Pitt. He's scoring the basketball much better. One of the things he does real well is pushes the ball up the floor. He's now coming off screen, shooting the ball well. Tommy Amaker, though, really is more concerned about him defensively and how he defends the point guard position.
At 3-7 in the Big East, Seton Hall remains one of the great mysteries in the country, but maybe not as mysterious if you look closer at the numbers. They've become too one-dimensional.
Well, the thing about it is they rely on the three ball. That's their game. They go up and down the floor and they shoot the long ball. And the key thing is when you look at the numbers, they rank first in the league with the attempts from the three-point stripe. Look at the free throw shooting, though. Their attempts are down to 13th in the league. They've only made 12 free throws over the last 4 games, so clearly they got to find some time at the line.
And if that pirate ship is going to be righted, it may be a freshman that gets the job done. Eddie Griffin, just named Monday, one of the 15 finalists for the Naismith National Player of the Year Award. Back with the starting lineups at opening tip after this.
It's here, waiting for you. Inside is unlimited strength and power. It builds confidence and reshapes your body. It can change everything. This is Bowflex, an entire gym in one easy-to-use machine. So powerful, it delivers over 60 health club quality exercises with up to 410 pounds of resistance, all in the convenience of your own home. Strength training with Bowflex is so effective that we guarantee you'll get the results you want in 6 weeks or less. And you can own one with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Bowflex is real. The results are real. The question is, are you ready for Bowflex? For a free video and brochure, call or go online at bowflexdirect.com. Do the research, listen to real customers, then place your order online and get started. Bowflex. Who said change isn't easy?
I have a dream.
I did a lot of reading about Martin Luther King when I was younger, and he really inspired me a lot as far as his struggles to try to gain acceptance for everybody, not just for black people, but for all people. And I think that was one of the things that I really found interesting about him and his character. He still found it in his heart to be open and to love everybody, regardless of their race. And I think that's really something that I took a lot from as far as growing up.
I do pretty much everything for the team. Anything that's going on around a game day. 300 requests per week. People write us letters or autographed items from all over the country. Underwear. NBA basketball is very special for good causes, from soup to nuts. If the player's willing to sign that, it's overwhelming. T-shirts, very big request. They know I'm going to be asking for something, anything. I'm the guy, so this is what you got right here. Uh-oh, here comes Eddie-O.
Eddie? Who's Eddie-O? You know, we love him around here. He's just a pain in the tush, you know what I mean?
More angles, more insight. MSG, it's more than just a game.
You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. Without hope, life is meaningless. Without hope, life is meaningless and less. You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have...
Tonight's game is brought to you by Volkswagen. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. And by CSFB Direct. Invest online with CSFB Direct. It's an unusually mild mid-February evening in Manhattan. We are just across the Hudson River, the home of the Seton Hall Pirates. Second meeting of the year between these two. Now let's take a look at the CSFB starting lineups. And getting his first career start for Pittsburgh will be 6'10" freshman Torrey Morris. Isaac Hawkins, bothered by a sore foot, tried to give it a go in warm-ups, will not play tonight. So Morris will get the start. And for Seton Hall, keep your eye on Darius Lane. We mentioned the three-point penchant for the Pirates. Well, Lane is first in the Big East, fourth in the country in three-point field goals made. The coach of the Pirates, Tommy Amaker, is in his fourth season. And last March, he took Seton Hall to their first trip to the NCAA tournament in 6 years. His counterpart on the Pittsburgh bench is Ben Howland in his second year. One more win and his Panthers will equal their point total of a year ago. And Jim, if it weren't for bad luck, I don't think Ben Howland would have any luck at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And trying to get the ship righted. You look at the last meeting where Pittsburgh won 77-65. So a situation here, when you look coming out, the concerns really for Seton Hall is with Ricardo Greer. How are they going to stop him? What are they going to do to kind of keep him away from the basket? A terrific player for Pitt. And Seton Hall has to really get on that roll again and just really start to get some flow to their basketball.
Top controlled by Samuel Dallenberg, and it's Andre Barrett. He'll be at the point, defended by Brandon Knight in that man-to-man matchup. Griffin over Zabatsky barely grazed the iron, and on a hop it's picked up by Morris. Zabatsky's great open three-point shooter. Had a big game against the Pirates on January 13th in Pittsburgh. Morris, high-low pass, and Dallenberg steps into the passing lane with Greer recovers.
Good work by Greer. Shot clock still working against him.
Greer kick out Zabatsky for one of those threes. And the rebound tapped by Dallenberg to Barrett.
It'll be interesting to see just how many free throws are taken in this basketball game tonight. Both of these teams go up and down, and Seton Hall in particular has not been to the line, as we just touched on.
Darius Lane throws up the three. I don't think he wanted to do that, but he'll take it.
Looking for a little call also. He thought he got tipped on the shot, and yeah, that's their MO. That's what Tommy Amaker talked about before the game, saying that's our personality. That's what we do. We shoot the long ball.
75th three-pointer of the year for Darius Lane. Morris, right side Zabatskis. Down low Greer over Morton.
You know, that's the thing he's doing so well, shooting that baseline jumper. Last game out against Rutgers, hit a couple of nice ones, both from the left and right side.
Right side Morton getting his second straight start instead of Marcus Toniel. Andre Barrett misses the three, and rebound to Morris, and tied up by Eddie Griffin. Possession arrow toward the Panthers.
You know, Bob, there's a concept in basketball. Shooting the outside shot is okay after you test down low a little bit. Seton Hall 3 trips in a row, really putting it up. And granted, one goes in with Lane banking one in, but I still believe you have to test it down low, bring it to the paint, and then kick it out for those shots.
Ricardo Greer in the top 11 in the Big East in field goal shooting, rebounding, and scoring. One of the great all-round performers in Pittsburgh history.
Well, with Morton starting for Seton Hall, as you mentioned, the second time out, he's a pretty good defender and active.
Page blocked by Dallenberg, but Eddie Corbett says score it. Goaltending. Corbett working tonight with Steve Wilmer and Will Bush.
Well, the quickness off the dribble. I know we're talking about down the other end, and the work down low on the blocks.
Lane down low to Dallenberg. Kick out to Lane. Right back to Dallenberg again. Faces the hoop, puts it on the floor, and shoots over Morris. Gets the roll.
And it's one of the things they'd like to see. They'd like to see some good touches for Dallenberg down low. Make sure he gets him in a spot that he's effective with, which is about the 5-6 foot range and in.
Brandon Knight, teammates at Seton Hall Prep with Marcus Toniel. We'll see him off the bench for the Pirates. Played at Seton Hall Prep right on the Seton Hall campus. Now away from the play, Darius Lane collided with Knight, and we're going to get a foul on the Panthers off the ball. Torrey Morris.
So often you see that with guys moving before and they get set, and really it's the guards that are coming off the screens that really are at fault. They have to wait for the big guy to get into a position where he can set himself.
Andre Barrett left in the lane to Griffin. The quick catch and shoot. Tries to get his own rebound and does. Griffin, the second leading rebounder in the country.
Hands are so good. He's quick off the floor also. Pretty much point blank range for him right there.
Zabatskis, who's been playing with a sore knee, had an MRI taken on that right knee Monday. Turned out to be negative. Greer with a beautiful spin move.
That's why Tommy Amaker was concerned. I mean, that's just a tough move going through the lane. Defended fairly well, but then the real good players make things happen after they've been defended well for the first stop.
Barrett Looks for Lane. Finds him right side. Lane with his second three of the night.
That's a little cleaner, don't you think? No window on that one. He's so quick in getting the basketball released that if you don't step up on him, and you have to remember, you really want to force him to put the ball on the floor because he's so streaky also.
Julius Page, by the way, leads Pittsburgh in three-pointers with 29. That was Darius Lane's 76th of the year. Reach-in foul on the Pirates. Sam D'Alembert picks up his first.
It's that quick catch and shoot. You see the defender just about 2 feet away, and Lane catches and squares up. So many players forget to square up to the basket. You have to size up the defender and see if he's allowing you to shoot the ball.
D'Alembert got in foul trouble in the first meeting between these two. Had to leave with 4 fouls with 16:37 remaining. Had a dramatic impact on the way that game played out down the stretch. That, of course, has been a problem, staying out of foul trouble throughout his Seton Hall career. Zavatskis for 3. Weak side rebound, Andre Barrett. Lane, left side, tries to beat Page off the dribble.
And after knocking back a couple of threes, you come out and you challenge him a little bit defensively, and that's when he's effective putting the ball on the floor.
Timeout. Seton Hall with the early lead. You're watching Big East basketball from ESPN+.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
So what's that?
It's
a Sony. I didn't know Sony made computers.
Yeah, it's a Vio.
Would you mind if I...
And turn off all electronic devices.
Yeah.
Thank you, and have a nice flight.
Sir, could you turn off? Nice computer.
Sony Vio. With notebooks and desktops as sleek as they are powerful, they could only come from Sony.
Real light and thin?
Yeah, that's why I got it.
Good battery life? Lasts the whole flight.
Take the Z505. It has the unique ability to capture, edit, and share a world of digital content.
Sir?
Yo, technology boy.
Sir, will you please?
It's a really nice computer.
We will not be able to take off.
What's going on here?
Thanks.
Sir, put the computer away. Sorry, Captain.
Call now to get your own Sony Vio. And for a limited time, a free Go America wireless modem worth up to $480 with a minimum service commitment. Sony Vio.
This is Control Tower. Looks like we've got another Sony Vio on board.
Steal by York to the net. He scores!
In order to succeed in life, everyone must have goals.
Poland Spring and the New York Rangers want to make sure you meet yours.
If you're a college-bound senior who excels academically, is active in community service and youth athletic leagues, you can be one of 2 high school seniors who have a chance to score big with a $5,000 scholarship.
See your guidance counselor or visit NewYorkRangers.com for an application.
Let Poland Spring and the New York Rangers help you reach your goals.
A couple of Darius Lane threes have Seton Hall out to a 2-point lead over Pittsburgh. We'd like to remind you tonight's game is produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. Jim, you mentioned how Tommy Amaker would perhaps like to see the ball go through the post a little more. He mentioned to me yesterday, I asked him, do you want to see Sam D'Alembert touch it more? He says, well, first of all, we'd like to Sam get better position down low, get a piece of the paint, as he said it, and then, yes, we'd like to run the ball through him more.
And absolutely, it comes down to just working for the position. And on the offensive glass, pretty good job there by Pitt, boxing him out, keeping him away from the weak side rebound.
Great look night down low to Zavatskis, but he sort of juggled it, then kick out Greer, and Ricardo Greer has got it going.
Just warming it up early, huh?
7 of Pittsburgh's 9 points. Down low, D'Alembert gets a piece of the paint this time. Doesn't finish, and Griffin over the back will be whistled for his first foul and 2 on the Pirates.
And Griffin's so long. Sometimes there's that tendency, as long as he is with the arms, to just kind of stand behind people and flick. And that time he just kind of bumped the rebounder out of position to get better position. Got called for it coming over the top. And right about Greer down the offensive end here. And somebody's got to try to find them a little quicker and put the clamps on him.
And Marcus Toniel will get that chance. He replaces Griffin, and right away Greer catch and shoot. It doesn't drop, but he'll get to the free throw line.
That was one of those types of shots where a guy comes down feeling real good about his game and his shooting ability, because he came across the court with the catch. Watch him, plants the left foot, strong elevation. I mean, that's picture perfect, and Seton Hall's pretty lucky that that ball just barely missed, because he'd be at the line for an N1 opportunity.
First foul on Toniel, 3 on the Pirates. Greer 6th in the Big East in field goal shooting, 10th in scoring, 11th in rebounding. There are few players, you could probably count on one hand the number of players in University of Pittsburgh history who have had more stellar careers than this young man. Of course, the brother of Rutgers, Jeff Greer, and just the other day they played against each other and combined to break the all-time conference record for most points scored in a career in conference games by a pair of brothers.
I guess the Billets are going to try to size that up a little bit, don't you think, with Todd and Jeff?
Darius Lane with his 3rd three of the night. Lane and Greer. Too bad they're not guarding each other. It's like a game of horse.
Well, I had the opportunity the other night to work the Nets and Lakers with Kobe Bryant and Stephon Marbury doing their all-star impersonations there. I had a great finish on this floor. These two guys are going at one another not quite that level, but pretty good.
Marbury had 50 points in defeat the other night against the Lakers.
Kobe put a big bucket in at the end of that basketball game.
Chad Johnson checks in for the Panthers. Zavatskis misses the 3. He's 0 for 3 from 3-point range, and on the year he's a 55% shooter from there.
Well defended.
Barrett left his feet and had it swatted away by Brandon Knight, who had 6 feet as the second leading shot blocker on the Panthers. Greer goes by Tony L, and Dalembert with his 2nd goaltending call of the night.
I tell you, Greer is giving you a good running sample of what he does so well, and I tell you, Bob, it's a lot of good things he does well. Here you see him going along the baseline and really going after it, and then pump faking, which I thought was the great part of that move with Dalembert behind him.
He has 10 of Pittsburgh's 12 points. Lane has 9 of the Hall's 11, and he draws the foul.
Page that time trying to stay with Lane, and that's the beauty of being able to shoot the ball from long range. Page had to come out and really go after him defensively and puts the arm on him.
2nd foul on Page, 3 on the Panthers. Pirates to inbound beneath their own hoop. Barrett to do the honors. Finds Lane, defended by Chad Johnson. Shoots over him. Finally missed one.
I tell you, that was right there too, though. It didn't look like a great shot.
Nice. Great look from Chad Johnson.
Well, Knight defensively, the last trip previous to the one that with Lane shooting the ball, well defended, helps to get you into the game, get your mental approach going. That was a beautiful delivery coming down the floor.
Jellimer Stevanovic, number 22, in for the Panthers. Ty Shine in for the Hall. Lane no good. Rebound last touch by Darius. And it's Pittsburgh ball with the Panthers up 3.
Some better results when you get him going towards his left there a little bit. It at least gives teammates an opportunity to get in his path a little bit with Lane.
Griffin will return for Seton Hall at the next opportunity. The Panthers are 6 for 9 from the floor in the first 7 minutes. Tony L reaches in, knocks it away, falls down. Zavatskis finds Knight for the wide open 3. Back rims it, rebound, long rebound to Tony L. Takes it right down the middle of the lane and then runs right over his former high school teammate.
Once again, Knight stepping right in the path. And the key thing about that with Tony L was going, when you dribble the ball more than twice, 3 times, so he's coming down the floor. That was about his 3rd dribble. Guys can size you up defensively from way out on the floor, coming right down the middle. So not a good decision by Tony L. Maybe a little pull-up 5-footer right there, but you have to recognize where the defender is.
Sure, former high school teammates love to get together, but not that way.
That's it.
Number 2 on Tony L. 4 on the club. First turnover of the game, Jim. 7.5 minutes in. Stevanovic picks up his dribble, finds Knight. Right side Greer. Pull-up jumper. Ricardo Greer with a dozen points in the first 8 minutes.
And they've been a smooth bunch of points that he's put up. And he's just doing everything right. The jumper looks picture perfect when he's elevating.
Greer 5 for 5 from the floor. Another foul on the Panthers. This one will be on Zavatskis. That's his first and 4 on the club. Corey Morris returns for the Panthers, replacing Zavatskis. Again, the story on Isaac Hawkins. Injured his foot on February 3rd against Notre Dame. It's been bothering him on and off since. Particularly was painful the last 2 days. He tried it in warm-ups, and decided he could not go, and he will not play tonight at all.
Plus another big body that they missed playing against Griffin, who's posting up a little bit right now.
Shine, kick out to Desmond Harrod. Had a wide open look, didn't take it. Instead, knocks down Johnson and is called for the charge.
And Harrod may have gone into that little hop step too. And generally, when you do that hop step or come down, they sometimes let you get away with it, but you better be shooting it in a hurry.
First foul on Harrod, 5 on the team. It's the Ricky Greer show here in the first 8 minutes.
It's also time now. We as scientists don't believe things right off the bat. You always have to be seeking out what the truth really is. Research is the game here, because if you can find things out other people can't, then you can act on them.
When researching his personal investments, Dr. John Seeley Brown trusts CSFB Direct. That's because it offers access to 6 leading independent sources, all backed by one of the world's top research firms.
Research is a way to actually get a competitive edge.
People who know CSFB Direct.
Well, hey, Miss Palmer, how can I help you?
Hi, Bill. Time to rotate those tires. Cooper Tires. Drive on.
Pittsburgh lead, and Jim, pick your poison. If you have to guard Ricardo Greer, you play in his face, he goes round you, you back off, and he'll shoot over you.
And if you play him kind of in between, what he'll do real well is he'll work for the basketball, and then he'll put it on the floor. You watch him here, he catches the ball, little dribble or two to the left side, pull-up jump shot. I mean, from just looking at that in terms of how he looks shooting the basketball, near perfect.
And Greer has been bothered on and off by a bad lower back pain really throughout his career in Pittsburgh. And we mentioned Hawkins hurt his foot in the Notre Dame game on February 3rd. That was the night that Greer left the floor during warm-ups with back spasms. Didn't play at all until early second half and wound up playing only 16 minutes. He looks pretty loose tonight.
Well, finally gets hung up in the air, and D'Alembert gets him for one.
D'Alembert with a block shot that's not goaltending, and as Shine falls down, he's fouled by Jerron Brown, who checks in for the Panthers and immediately picks up his first. That's number 5 on Pittsburgh. Brown was starting at the point when these two teams met on January 13th. Since then, Brandon Knight has reclaimed that job. Tony L kick out, Shine wide open 3. Rebound, Shad Johnson.
Well, they do like to shoot the long ball, don't they?
Gives to Stevanovic. Right side, Johnson. Dribble drives by D'Alembert, and it's rejected by Eddie Griffin, his nation-leading 97th. Inside Morris.
Well, Morris says try to get that one. Try to block that shot out of there. Pretty good effort to cut through the middle of the floor also to find an opening. And Griffin really backs up D'Alembert pretty well, though, defensively.
Only the 38th and 39th points in Morris's brief career. Tony L, left side 3. Rebound Griffin. Has it stripped by Johnson. Here's a 4-on-1. And Johnson with the finish.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Regardless of the level of play, you go after it 4-on-1. You better get a good shot. That's a simple concept.
Tommy Amaker wants time. It's a 10-0 Pittsburgh run and a 9-point lead. You're watching Big East basketball.
British Airways introduces a revolutionary view of business travel. The world's only fully flat beds in business class.
You've bought your kid just about every I gotta have this or I'm gonna die thing under the sun. You may not think this is the right time to buy a computer. Think again. Now you can get a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor, speakers, and monitor for just $849. You'll also get 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet Access, and you don't have to make any payments for 90 days. 90 days of blissful freedom. Of course, your system will be backed by Dell's award-winning service and support. To order a Dell Dimension system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor and not make any payments for 90 days, call Dell or go online. Just think, this may be the last I gotta have this or I'm gonna die thing you'll have to buy.
Mom, I have nothing to wear.
Or maybe not.
Out to a 9-point lead nearly midway through the first half thanks to a 10-0 run. And boy, we talked about Ben Howland's bad luck. That's not a good sight. An ice pack on Brandon Knight's right shoulder.
No, it's not. You take a look at the run, 10-0 in the last 3.5 minutes. So clearly an important guy to keep an eye on. He's going to sit it out for a little while.
Could have been when he took the charge, when Marcus Toniel ran him down. We're not sure, but Pittsburgh only has 10 people on their roster. One of the 10, Griffin Abel, rarely plays, and Hawkins unavailable tonight.
And the points in the paint, really a big number for Pittsburgh. 12-2, they're outscoring Seton Hall. No surprise with the way they're shooting the long ball.
Down low, Griffin catch and shoot and banks it off the glass.
That's one of the things they have to start to establish a little bit more because he's so long and he's so quick, and he has a feathery touch right there also. Even though that was a touch of a line drive, you have to ride him a little bit down on the blocks.
Eddie had missed his first 4 shots tonight. Johnson in the lane, shoots over lane, and the putback, Jerron Brown, nobody put a body on him.
Not at all, and that's what Pitt is doing real well, starting this game off. They are not afraid to mix it up.
Griffin for 3.
A little answer from the long range, too. Get it down low, go after it a bit, and it opens up the floor a bit, and then you start taking those outside shots.
28th three for Griffin, who entered the night with 17 more three-point attempts than free throw attempts, and Seton Hall switching to his own.
Yeah, a little bit of a matchup, it looks like.
It's like a 1-3-1 with Barrett at the point.
You can generally tell that when somebody cuts through. There was a cut, and the next man feeds.
Well, it didn't stop the Panthers from getting the ball way down low to Mars.
Most zones, if you get a move in that area right behind the free throw line, is a pretty good spot to look for.
Pittsburgh looks very sharp with its offensive execution tonight.
They lost by 20 to Rutgers, but that game was closer for about 30 minutes or so. They didn't play all that badly.
Barrett tries to take Brown off the dribble. Kick out right into the hands of Chad Johnson. Up the floor, Ricardo Greer. Griffin went for the steal. Jerron Brown, kick out Chad Johnson for 3. Long rebound to Lane. He's got up the floor Garrett if he sees him. Instead, Morton on the left. Reggie Garrett rarely sees playing time this early. Griffin, another deep 3.
How big is he? He's like 5'11", huh? Shooting that ball out there. He shoots it just like a small guard does, doesn't he?
He's actually 6'9".
I know.
Leads the country in block shots, has led the country in rebounding for most of the year. Now has slipped to number 2. Left side, Stevanovic. Gives to Ricardo Greer. Morton, who started the game on him, now will get another shot. Chad Johnson, shot clock at 10. Stevanovic.
Better job defensively here with Seton Hall switching to the man this trip.
Greer for 3.
Oh, money.
Ricardo Greer with 15 points in the first 12 minutes.
Nothing wrong with Pittsburgh if he can keep that up.
Lane, can he match him? He's already got 3 threes. Rebound, Torrey Morris.
See, now there's one of the things, too. The Pitt comes down and works it around a little bit. Now they're firing up from long range also, so they give up that opportunity to take time off the clock.
Lane quickly down the other end, tried to find the trailer. Caroms off a Panther, and it'll be Seton Hall ball. Ben Howland goes to his bench. Knight, despite the shoulder, will return, but first a timeout. Eddie Griffin trying to heat up at one end for the Pirates. His club down by 8 with 7:28 to go in the first half of the Meadowlands. He's a Naismith Player of the Year candidate. Maybe Ricardo Greer ought to be. He looks like an all-NBA candidate tonight. Great start for Greer.
Sweetie?
Come over here. Watch this.
Woo!
Can't we all just get along? In your dreams.
Let your voice be heard. Game Face, tonight at 7, only on Metro.
Keith Van Horn and the Nets shoot into the Garden as Drizzy Jam with Speedwell, Houston, and the New York Knicks. Nets. Friday at 7:30 on MSG.
You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. Without hope, life is meaningless. Without hope, life is meaningless and less. You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have hope. You gotta have.
It's Pittsburgh by 8, a little under 8 minutes remaining first half at the Meadowlands. Now let's take a look at the Volkswagen Big East leaders. 5 of the 9 individual categories in the country are led by Big East people, including rebounding, including block shots.
Block shots, you're looking just under 5 for Eddie Griffin. Really doing a good job, and the thing about it is that he really defends well when D'Alembert is on the floor, especially because he's the second guy in a lot. And a lot of people don't look for him quickly because they're worried about D'Alembert, but he really picks up a lot of space.
Griffin has recorded double-doubles in 16 of his first 20 collegiate games. Actually, one of those was a triple-double. He's been in double figures in 19 of his 20 college games. Darius Lane defended by Julius Page. Shot clock down to 10. Barrett down into the post to Griffin for the turnaround to the right.
I'm not so sure there are many people in this country that can stop him on the post just then if he catches and goes quickly. One of the things teams have to do is they have to try to get down there and defend him with a double team so he can't put it on the floor and spring up with it, because I mean he gets way up there with that long arm span that he has.
So now Eddie Griffin is in double figures 20 times in his first 21 games. Savatskis down low, rejected by Griffin, is 98. Eddie missed his first 4 shots, has hit his last 4. You can't leave Lane that open.
And sometimes that's the most difficult shot to hit when you are all by yourself. I mean, for a count of 1 or 2 over there, and very difficult to get the concentration back at times.
Darius Lane with 4 threes tonight in 6 attempts. He had 6 threes in the loss Saturday night at Syracuse. Greer gets a heck of a screen from Torrey Morris. Griffin got a hand in his face, though.
Yeah, it caused him to drift just a tiny bit away from the basket, enough to miss that shot, because once again, Greer right on it with the pull-up jumper.
Reggie Garrett finds Lane. Hands off to Barrett. Morton. They wanted to go backdoor, but Page took it away. Griffin up top. Another 3. Rebound batted up high by Morton and pulled down by Barrett, who hits the putback. And Ben Howland wants time.
That's a good timeout, too. They kind of come creeping back on him, a little inside-outside maneuvering, but the last portion of that play, not getting that defensive rebound. Ben figures they got to talk this thing over and try to regroup again and get them to collectively thinking about defense more than offense. Tommy Amaker doing the same thing, kind of recharging his troops and encouraging them. We've seen all the last few trips down the floor a little bit more offensive oriented in terms of spreading the ball around, and here you see Barrett getting the basketball, going after it, and putting it right back.
We mentioned that there's no question Seton Hall at 12-9 has been a big disappointment. Tommy Amaker told me we're certainly disappointed with some of our losses, but We haven't hung our heads. We still feel there's an opportunity for us. We are still searching for the answers. And in this wacky Big East, where it seems like every night you're playing a team that's in the same boat that you're in, Seton Hall still can turn things around. They have a big date at Notre Dame. They still have to play UConn here. They just have to win the game.
Yeah, get a game against Rutgers, who beat them on this floor, so they play them again. And, oh, man.
Eddie Griffin with his third block of the night. Steve Wilmer says last touch by the Pirates, 17 to shoot for Pittsburgh.
Yeah, about 212 pounds they have him listed at. Eddie Griffin, I think, you look at him, most guys think that they can go at him and get the shots off, but he's just so long.
Page misses the shot, rebound off of Griffin's hands, and now a fresh 35 for Pittsburgh. Both teams have lost 4 straight entering this one. Pittsburgh has lost 4 in a row, 5 of 6. The Pirates 4 straight, 6 of 7. Johnson on the right. Barrett gambled, went for the steal. Knight with Garrett's hand in his face, misses badly. Greer with a good look to Johnson, and Garrett with the quick hands knocks it away. Still Pittsburgh ball, 22 to shoot.
Time of possession pretty long down this end, this trip.
Page around the screen.
Good help by Morton just then on the jump switch.
Good ball reversal to Greer for 3, finding this one. And up in the air, I think Sabatskis will be called for the over-the-back foul. That's number 2 on him, number 6 on Pittsburgh.
Another good look, though, for Greer from the right side. I mean, the Pittsburgh timeout worked, too, because they got a good shot, and they get some good possessions down their end. So Ben Howland's timeout worked in terms of regrouping, getting his guys focused on what the mission is at hand.
The Hall with that 7-0 run. Before that, Pittsburgh had a 10-0 run, and the Panthers go zone.
2-3 zone, and you got to find that guy.
Lane misses the 3. Rebound, Brandon Knight. Knight, look to Chad Johnson. Lane fouled him, and Johnson will shoot a pair.
The beauty of Knight, though, is that he's doing it off the dribble also. Beautiful look. Cut. There's the foul by Lane. Just a touch late getting in there. But Knight with another terrific delivery. His second one this evening that he kind of forced right through the middle of the gut of the defense and found a teammate just very comfortably underneath.
So at the free throw line will go Chad Johnson. I chatted this week with Ben Howland talking about Brandon Knight. He said this game, playing in his old stomping grounds, is important to him. He's a former teammate of Marcus Toniel. He plays well when he's hyped. So I don't plan on saying a thing to him, because I asked him, I said, can a kid get too high for a game like this? He said, not Brandon.
Well, that's good to hear, because most people can get too high for a game like this. And, it's funny, when I mentioned talking to Tommy Yammerka before the game about Knight, I said, what do you think about Knight defending? He says, well, he's coming home. It can be good and it can be bad. Sometimes kids go the other way and they really lose themselves and they get caught up and try to impress people and they don't play their basketball game.
Gallenberg returns for Seton Hall, replacing Morton. Knight had a terrific game off the bench in the win over Seton Hall 5 weeks ago. 10 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists in 30 minutes. Griffin up high. Left side, Barrett, wide open 3. And the rebound pulled down by Torrey Morris. His 5th. He's been terrific off the boards in his first career start.
You mentioned those numbers that Knight had in the first meeting. He put up some nice numbers against Rutgers the other day. Also in the last time out, 19 points, 5 assists. So he's starting to really come along. And I think his judgments are growing and getting better and better each time he goes on the floor.
Pittsburgh started out on fire, but has really cooled off, connecting on only one of its last 9. Knight gets the screen from Morris and somehow finds his way in the lane, and he'll get called for the offensive foul as he ran over Garrett.
And it's one of the things with coming through the lane, you have to really be aware of what's going on, and that's a bang-bang type of play, so it's a good aggressive charging call against Knight, making things happen.
Foul was on Knight, but that's his first 7 on the team, so instead of an official timeout, the Pirates are going to shoot at least one free throw here, and this will be Seton Hall's first free throw attempt of the night. We hate to beat a dead horse, but they played 40 minutes the other night at the Carrier Dome and went to the line 3 times, and they've gone 25 times in their last 4 games.
So you better really be hitting shots if you're not going to the free throw line at the college level in this conference. You need as many freebies as you can get. They're wars this time of year.
Reggie Garrett, who has seen limited playing time this year, 62 minutes in 13 games. That was only his 6th point of the season.
The last time I looked, nobody guards you at the free throw line. You know, so you like to get there as often as you can.
Garrett hits a couple. Now we'll have a timeout. Remember that 10-0 Pittsburgh run? Well, the Pirates have pulled dead even with 3:54 remaining.
To be competitive in music, I depend on the freshest information.
Word on the street is this thing is really buzzing. I'm waiting on that press release. When I get back, I want to review the sales figures and get the contract out right away. I don't want to miss out on the opening weekend.
When it comes to his investments, Steve Gottlieb chooses CSFB Direct, so he can keep up with the market through real-time news and quotes, and receive price alerts on all his favorite stocks.
If you want to be in the game, you got to keep your finger on the pulse.
People who know CSFB Direct.
Cooper Tires Test Track. They're developing some pretty impressive tires.
Okay, next car.
Record time, Mr. Palmer.
Cooper Tires. Drive on.
Well, Pittsburgh got in the first few punches, but Jim, the Pirates have counterpunched rather nicely.
And I think it's been a byproduct of both coaches using their timeouts pretty well to recharge their troops. Tommy Amaker, the most recent one to get a timeout and really get it to his benefit as you take a look at the summary here and the shooting percentages. And really it stacks up the 3-point field goals at second line, 2 of 9 and 6 of 14 respectively. And the points in the paint, that's where Pitt has really made a lot of hay, you know, down low, focusing in on it and really testing Griffin and Dallenberg's ability to play defense down low.
Where somebody has to lose tonight, there aren't any ties in this league, so the loser is going to find itself only 1 game ahead of Rutgers. Rutgers in last place in the Big East West, and with the new format this year, keep in mind the last place team in each division does not go to the Big East tournament.
What a disappointment that would be.
Mike Gibson Johnson at halftime will take a closer look at the standings in both divisions. Ricardo Greer, with time running down on the shot clock, somehow gets the shot off and manages to at least recycle the clock. Instead, he gets it down low, misses another one, and wants to know where's the foul.
Looking for the calls, just forget about it and keep playing. It's the name of the game. You're not going to get them all.
Andre Barrett had a turnover-free night Saturday night at the Carrier Dome. Darius Lane trying to take Jerron Brown off the dribble. Barrett, nice look to Morton at the baseline. And Chad Johnson will be called for the shove in the back on the rebound. That's his first 8 on Pittsburgh.
And that's pretty good work offensively by Seton Hall, showing a lot more patience rather than just settling, especially Lane. Had an opportunity there where he was open for a split second, bypassed the shot, made an extra pass, and they end up getting something going towards the basket, which is good results for them.
And it means Seton Hall's second trip to the line tonight. And Samuel Dallenberg buries the first one for the season. He is a 61% shooter. Dallenberg tonight with 4 points, which is 2 more than he had the other night in Syracuse. He only took 3 shots in 29 minutes. Reggie Garrett seeing some major playing time off the bench tonight for the Pirates. Spin move in the lane, Knight, and he...
Boy, you're going to love that move just then. Really shooting it on the way up. And point guards, especially young kids, just don't learn how to do that. Pull up from that 12-foot range, 10-foot range, and shoot over the big guys before they get ready for you.
First points of the night for the resident of nearby East Orange. Dallenberg with the catch down low off a nice feed from Morton.
And Morton gives some good minutes also. Dallenberg positioning himself, as Tommy Amica suggested, getting him good looks down low. And Morton, one of these guys who deserves minutes just because he's really always around the basketball. Back to their zone again. A little flat 2-3.
Ron Brown. Ben Howland using both of his point guards on the floor now. He's had nothing out of Julius Page tonight. Right side Knight gets the wide open look. Morton tried to make a run at him, but big Torrey Morris was in the way.
And most of that occurs because what they tried to do just then is bring the ball into the paint area. That makes the life of the shooter a whole lot easier with the defenders starting 7 feet away.
And Knight with 5 quick points. And Pittsburgh up 1. Down low, Dallenberg counted in the foul. What do we say about those touches down low?
It's nice to get him within point-blank range. Now, I thought maybe there might have been a foul before this play. When he was right before catching the basketball, it looked as if he got bumped. You see, right there, I thought he was bumped. And then he gets fouled again. So fortunate for Seton Hall that they did not call the first one because he puts the bucket in. He goes to the line for a third shot possible, third point possibly.
10th lead change of the night. Pirates up 1. That's 2 fouls on Mars, who has to sit down. And Ben Howland really doesn't have any options at all. These troops get in foul trouble.
We may get the play tonight.
Well, I'm out of eligibility, not to mention ability. At least you're batting 500. You can still play.
No,
I'm not eligible.
No, my legs are killing me right now.
Chad Johnson picks up his dribble way far away.
Well, come to think of it, I might be able to get a shot off though. A couple of screens.
Johnson tried the runner. Instead, he'll be bumped. That'll be 7 fouls on the Pirates, so Pittsburgh will shoot free throws the rest of the way.
The patience still pretty good for Pitt, though. I mean, they're using fairly good judgment, looking for opportunities and not afraid to test down low, and I think that's going to pay off for them as the game progresses into the second half.
First foul on Morton, so Johnson will shoot the 1-and-1. His dad, Clemens, spent 10 years in the NBA. Chad, a transfer from Nebraska, where he played on 1 NCAA tournament team and 1 NIT team. We'd like to remind you tonight's game is produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. Pittsburgh has had some quality wins this year. When they beat Seton Hall, the Pirates were ranked 15th in the country. On inauguration night in Washington, they knocked off the then 16-0 Georgetown Hoyas, easily the biggest win in Ben Howland's 2 seasons at Pittsburgh.
And when they win those games, as they did in the first Seton Hall game, it's usually because they have pretty good balance at the scoring end.
Julius Page had a career high, tying 18 points that night over Georgetown. Dallenberg with the rebound has it knocked away, and here comes Ricardo Greer, his club down 1, final minute of the half. Knight, pull up 3. Rebound Reggie Garrett, can he save it? Last touch by Chad Johnson. Tommy Amica would like to get Ty Shine in on this offensive possession.
It puts another shooter on the floor for them, Ty Shine, but also it gives them an opportunity if they try to get the ball out of Barrett's hands.
Nice hand for Reggie Garrett. Fans recognizing his workmanlike effort off the bench.
It's one of the things about the fans in this metropolitan area. They appreciate effort, hustle. Even if you're throwing up an offer or you're working hard, they still appreciate it. Not to say that Garrett threw up an offer because he did a pretty good job just then.
About a second and a half differential between the shot clock and game clock, so the Pirates can pretty much run it all the way down if they want. Lane gets the screen from Dallenberg. Now the clock inside 10. Barrett with the runner. Rebound knocked around, taken down by Pittsburgh. Quickly, Knight 2-on-2. Finds Brown, bumped by Dallenberg. And Tommy Amica certainly didn't want that. 2 fouls on the big fella, 8 on the club. So Pittsburgh will get to the line with nothing but zeros on the scoreboard clock.
I would think they might put a little time on because that was clearly that whistle was blown before the horn.
Well, wow, nobody's lining up to rebound. So Jerome Brown, it's all up to you. Brown, a redshirt freshman from Lexington, Kentucky, prepped at MCI under current UNLV coach Max Good. So we'll end things in the first half just the way we started, all even at 35. Ben Howland's club this year, when leading at the half, is 9-3. Right now they're even. Pittsburgh and Seton Hall, second meeting of the year between the two, both fighting to get into the Big East tournament and maybe another tournament as well.
Helping to realize our brightest hopes for the future. Forging better lives through research. Working creatively to develop human potential. The University of Pittsburgh.
35 and Seton Hall 35. Welcome back to the Continental Airlines Arena. Bob Bicozzi along with Jim Spinarkle and Jim Tommy Amaker told us both before the game you have to be who you are, and largely what they are is a three-point team, and they had success hitting the long-range shots in the first half.
They really did, Bob, and the thing about it is that they, even when they're not hitting them, they keep going back to the well and keep looking for them. But I thought they really started to get Griffin involved down low, which I thought was a key thing for them. And it was a game of runs in the first half. Pitt went up, then Seton Hall answered. So it's interesting that it's not at the half.
And they did get to the foul line 5 times. Let's take a look at some first half highlights. And Darius Lane, well, his game is from downtown.
It is, and if you notice quickly here, watch the glass. It goes ricocheting off the backboard. I don't think he planned it. He was looking for a call early, but I think this is one of the keys. Seeing Griffin work down low, trying to establish position. Pretty good job right here of working, and then boom, that explosive jump hook. Jump and face, and I don't think many people, especially in this league, can really defend him. Same thing could be said about Ricardo Greer in the first half. Great start for him, coming right to the face of the gut. The defensive effort there by Dallenberg a little late. Good ball fake, so things working pretty well for Greer.
Greer with 15 points in the first half as we take a look at the statistics, and Seton Hall nearly 50% from behind the arc.
Shooting the ball long range, as we touched on, but I think just as important for Pitt is the points in the paint, where they have 21-9, so they're not afraid to challenge the two better shot blockers in this league with Dallenberg and Griffin.
And it's been a relatively mistake-free game, the two teams combining for only 5 turnovers. We are halfway home at the Meadowlands, both teams trying to say goodbye to a 4-game losing streak. Ricardo Greer and the Panthers tied at the half with the Pirates.
We as scientists don't believe things right off the bat. You always have to be seeking out what the truth really is. Research is the game here, because if you can find things out other people can't, then you can act on them.
When researching his personal investments, Dr. John Seely Brown trusts CSFB Direct. That's because it offers access to 6 leading independent sources, all backed by one of the world's top research firms.
Research is a way to actually get a competitive edge.
People who know CSFB Direct.
All-wheel drive available on the 3 Series sedan and sport wagon. Test drive a BMW with all-wheel drive at your local BMW center.
Well, hey, Miss Palmer, how can I help you?
Hi, Bill. Time to rotate those tires. Tires. Drive on.
Back at the Meadowlands, Seton Hall and Pittsburgh, all even at 35 as we await the start of the second half. Tonight's game is brought to you by Cooper Tires. A lot of mileage for the money. Cooper Tires, drive on. Seton Hall at 12-9 overall, 3-7 in the Big East. Pittsburgh 12-11 overall, 4-8 in the Big East. There's still time, Jim, for Seton Hall to get themselves into position for a return to the NCAA tournament, but tough sled ahead, especially with a game at Syracuse and also a game at Notre Dame. Or I'm sorry, he's played Syracuse, a Notre Dame game coming up, and then the return trip to Rutgers. Then they have UConn here.
Yeah, the bottom line is that they have to get this rhythm going, Seton Hall, and find a way to win some basketball games. And I think one of the things is that as you see the leading scorers here with Greer 15 and Lane with 12. I think really is to get Griffin involved down low. Lane will shoot the ball, we know, from long range, but I would like to see Seton Hall, from Tommy Amaker's perspective, get the ball in the blocks a little bit more.
Pirates, by the way, 0-5 on the road in the Big East this year. So that's why this game Sunday in South Bend against the Notre Dame team that's won 8 in a row is huge for Seton Hall's postseason hopes. Griffin knocked away by Zabatskis. Lane recovers. Now right side Barrett, shot clock at 10. Lane hit 4 threes in the first half. This is a 2.
And that's just working the ball off the dribble too. Just then Bobby came in once. It was defended pretty well, and then attacked the second time, trying to get the defender to break down a little bit.
Darius Lane with 14 points for the Pirates, 5th leading scorer in the Big East. Torrey Morris in his first career start because of a foot injury to senior Isaac Hawkins. Right side Zabatskis tries to dribble drive past Griffin. Instead, Morris has the wide open look.
And that's what you do. You bring the big guys in defensively. Morris with a good spot on the floor. When you go on one side of the baseline and drive towards the basket, the opposite side is usually the place to be standing for a little look.
Since Morris's playing time has been limited with 6 points tonight, that represents a career high for him. Julius Page called for the reach-in foul for Pittsburgh, his second half for the Panthers. That's 3 fouls on Julius Page, and it has been an unproductive night for Page. 2 points, 3 fouls for the team's second leading scorer. Griffin with the drive.
Good extension once again. The long arms really help Griffin with his offensive abilities. And Pitt not too quick to step in and help out defensively.
He's got a dozen. Knight penetrates, kick out, Greer for 3.
That's exactly what he did in that first half. Really started playing well the first 5 minutes especially, and now Pitt really needs him to carry them a bit in the second half.
18 points for Ricardo Greer. Coming right back. Barrett no good. Rebound, last touch by Morton. The 3-7 start in the Big East for Seton Hall. It's worst in league play in 4 years. Greer with the miss. And if that's Morris, it's going to be his 3rd foul. They're going to get Greer from the other side.
Oh, a little lucky there, actually, Bob, because they did not get back quickly defensively. Greer tried to take advantage of it. One thing about Greer, he's not afraid to challenge big guys. He went right after Dallenberg that trip.
It is on Morris, and it is his 3rd foul. So Page and Morris, 2 of their 5 starters with 3 each. Pass in and out of the hands of Griffin.
That's why you'll see Pitt settle into the zone a little bit to protect the fouls.
Right side Zabatskis, who has yet to score tonight. Rebound off the hands of Dallenberg to Lane. Morton sets the screen, and Lane has it knocked away in the lane. Held ball, possession arrow pointing toward Pittsburgh.
Hit that trip too. I thought they were in a little bit of trouble with Lane pushing the ball down the floor, but they converged pretty nicely. Good transition defense, flicking at the basketball after the dribble went by.
Brandon Knight will walk it across. Stevanovic has replaced Julius Page for the Panthers. So really it's only in essence, a 1-guard lineup on the floor now for Ben Howland. Greer controls the offensive rebound, so another opportunity. Knight behind the Morris screen, and with Dallenberg's hand, at least in the vicinity of his face.
Well, and especially with Barrett going behind the screen, what you want to do as a guard there is recognize where the defender, your guy who's defending you, has gone, and he dipped behind the screen. Good pull-up jump shot by Knight.
8 for Knight. Catch and shoot Eddie Griffin. Rebound, Torrey Morris. His 6th. Greer tries to get past Morton. Instead, kick out Stevanovic. Tapped up and in by Morris.
Morris just putting a little bit of that 280 pounds or so on Samuel Dallenberg. Tommy Amaker standing up, a little bit of concern on his face.
Barrett penetrates, kick out lane, ball fake, frees him up for an open three. Rebound to Ricardo Greer, who's the 7th leading rebounder in Pittsburgh history.
That's where the long shot starts to become your enemy if they're not going down.
Knight had the right idea, but Morris was not expecting it. Morris looks like the tank's almost on empty, Jim. Barrett has it blocked by Knight.
Gotta look up.
And he finds Knight. The trailer, Savatskis, but Barrett picked his pocket. Here comes Seton Hall, 3-on-3. Right side, Eddie Griffin.
Good delivery by Barrett. Simple game if you play it that way. Tommy Amaker trying to get his guys going up and down the floor a little bit.
Good timeout, I think, Mr. Ben Allen.
His players, you spotted it.
His players need some rest. Timeout with the Seton Hall Pirates trailing by 4. Take a look at Eddie Griffin, who has demonstrated some offensive versatility tonight.
It didn't look like he caught it all that cleanly to begin with, but his hands are so good and soft that he creates opportunities for himself. A very talented player and can really shoot the ball well. And I think his arsenal is there in terms of the offensive abilities. Clearly, defensively, he likes to block shots and gets a whole bunch of those also. But I think, a little bulk on that body, another 15, 20 pounds of strength, and maintain that shooting touch, and only going to get better.
So Ben Howland's going to use this timeout and piggyback it with giving Morris some extra rest on the bench. Morris has played 20 minutes tonight. His career high minutes played entering tonight, 15 minutes. With Hawkins injured, they got nobody else to play there, so it's all right. Catch your breath, big fella. You're going right back in. Right side, Greer, no good. Long rebound. Morton finds Ty Shine. Shine tries to take Stevanovic off the dribble, and Greer with the reach-in foul from the other side.
So here's a situation where Morris will get a couple extra minutes too. So good coaching by Ben Howland with the automatic timeout.
Foul on Greer, his first 3 on the team. Timeout. You're watching Big East basketball.
British Airways introduces a revolutionary view of business travel. The world's only fully flat beds in business class.
Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net. Pound for pound, the best fighters in the world go toe-to-toe. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net.
Pittsburgh lead here at the Meadowlands. We mentioned that it's a homecoming for Brandon Knight. He knows all about Seton Hall basketball, went to Seton Hall Prep. And his dad, Mel, was a great player for the Pirates a generation ago. Lightning quick point guard, actually a combination guard, Jim. He could shoot it. Also ran the show at the point, playing under first Richie Regan and then Bill Raftery, and he was easily the greatest player of that generation in a Seton Hall uniform.
Think about how good he could have been if Raft didn't get a hold of him.
And Brandon Knight commits the foul on the perimeter.
The beauty of that is ref would have said the same about me.
I remember a game during Mel's sophomore year, Jim, where Seton Hall was playing a very good St. John's team, which eventually wound up winning it. And Mel Knight scored 34, the Pirates 45 points. He was unstoppable.
Another player in that family, too, huh? His brother Brevin.
Yeah,
not a bad player.
Earns his pay now for the Atlanta Hawks. Left side jumper by Ty Shine. By the way, Brandon's mom, Mel's wife, Brenda, is the longtime secretary for the Dean of Arts and Sciences at Seton Hall. So the Seton Hall ties are extensive for Brandon Knight. Chad Johnson finds Brandon Knight down low, fakes Shine off his feet, and misses the layup.
The ability of having guys help out, though. Shine was beaten to the basket, but Griffin hanging around.
Lane stepped on the sideline as he received that pass. So the Pirates turn it over down to 14.5 remaining. And now Morris will come back in after getting a fairly lengthy rest. And as you mentioned, Jim, Ben Howland did a great job coupling the 20-second timeout with the TV timeout after that. And he got his big fella about 8 or 9 minutes of real-time rest.
Absolutely. And as you touched on, with him only averaging, in the 12 minutes a game in conference play, it's an opportunity where they're going to have to ride him the whole night.
Chad Johnson, pass into the post to Greer. Shine may have been called for the hold from behind. He was. Number one on him.
Nice recognition there by Pitt with Greer against Shine with the size and strength advantage. Shine with 4 minutes of action in the first half. Nice, put up some nice numbers.
Johnson receives the pass. Garrett with the block, but got him with the body, says Eddie Corbett.
And one of the things you want to try to avoid defensively, especially with the team underneath your own basket, is allowing that catch. You're trying to protect. You want to run everything inside out, force it to be outside, and Pitt with a good slip cut just then. Good execution by Johnson, and good delivery also.
So Chad Johnson with a couple of free throw opportunities. Ben Howland told me this week, we want to try to build toward the future. We don't want to watch the Big East tournament on television. We want to be playing in it. And when you think about it, Jim, obviously the Big East tournament and its venue is a huge lure when Big East coaches are recruiting.
No question about it. I mean, it's an opportunity to see the style of play you have, and especially in this area of the country where there have been a few decent players in this tri-state area that coaches are trying to lure.
Lane around the curl.
Good luck.
Knight ahead to Chad Johnson. Great feed from Brandon Knight.
And how quick was that release by Knight, too? Great recognition.
Right side, Griffin got fouled while attempting the three. Chad Johnson will be whistled for the personal, so Eddie Griffin will go to the line and in one fell swoop will attempt as many free throws as his team did in 40 minutes the other night in Syracuse.
Just don't like to test the waters down low that much. He does have the ability to score from down low also. That's the surprising thing with his game.
Eddie Griffin, one of 15 finalists for the Naismith Player of the Year award. That lengthy list that comes out in the preseason was just paired to 15 the other day. One of 4 Big East players on it, along with Troy Bell of Boston College and Michael Bradley of Villanova, and of course Troy Murphy of Notre Dame. Garrett gets a rest and again gets a big hand, replaced by Marcus Toniel, whose playing time has been sparse this evening.
They like the minutes that Morton, who's on the floor still right now, has been given Tommy Amaker. Real active. He's got the assignment of defending Greer, so that's why they like him on the floor in certain situations.
Griffin with 17 points after the 3 freebies. Nice look, Morris to Greer, deflected out of bounds by Seton Hall. 20 seconds left on the shot clock for the Panthers.
Last time Seton Hall allowed the slip cut towards the basket. Let's see if they defend this better and force it to the wing.
Went to Johnson last time, and Garrett wound up fouling. Let's see what the Panthers do. They wanted it again, but this time the Pirates denied it. Greer Morton got a piece of the ball, and Will Bush had a piece of the shooting hand.
Morton was right there initially. That's why a couple of the fans voiced their opinion in the negative sense against the officials. Notice how Greer hung in the air on this play also. He's in trouble, he knows it, because Morton responded pretty well. So watch the hang. Let's see if the hang, yep. Because he hung in the air, it allowed Morton's hand to come down across his shooting arm.
Of course, we mentioned it's a homecoming for Brandon Knight. Keep in mind, Ricardo Greer is from just across the Hudson River in Manhattan. Before the game, Warner Fussell, the Seton Hall radio play-by-play guy, said, "Ricardo, how many tickets did you have to get tonight?" He said, "Well, I had to split them with Brandon." He needed more than I did.
Tickets are scarce a bit. Back into the zone. Protection to foul trouble.
Tony L's pass inside deflected. And back into the arms of Barrett. Griffin on the left. Shoots over Greer. Rebound, Morton bats it around into the hands of his coach, Tommy Amaker. Pittsburgh ball. Tommy Amaker, in his 4th year at the Hall, took the Pirates to the NIT in each of his first 2 years. And quite a run to the Sweet 16 last year. Even more significant because the Pirates lost Seton Holloway with an injury very early in the 2nd round game against Temple.
Ty Shine having a career game.
Speaking of,
thank you.
Shine goes right by Greer. Looked a little winded on that one.
Yeah, winded, and also a little bit of indecision, I thought, too, by Greer. He was caught in that no man's land where he wasn't sure whether to go after him or not. The key is getting your shoulders ahead. See if Shine gets his shoulders in front. There it is. Once the shoulder comes across, you're on the offensive attack zone there, and Shine, even though smaller than Greer, got himself into a pretty good position.
Seton Hall, a perfect 9 for 9 from the free throw line tonight with that first one by Shine. That foul on Ricardo Greer was his 2nd of the night, and already 6 on the Panthers here in the 2nd half. So the Pirates could wind up spending a lot more time at the line tonight than they spent over the last 2 weeks. 10 free throw attempts tonight. That's 40% of the total free throw attempts they've had in the previous 4 games.
No substitution for free throws. Watch this.
Oh, that's a good way to get some playing time. Tony L with the steal and great hustle for the save. Barrett to Shine. Goes right by Jerron Brown. Nice dish inside. Tony L couldn't finish, but he will get to the free throw line.
You see the value, too, of having Barrett and Shine on the floor at once, because 2 guys quick. They can play a little exchange, moving Shine to that 2 guard. But watch the penetration, the ability to get in the lane, make things happen, draw defenders to them. And Tony L not quite finishing there, but the delivery pretty good by Ty Shine.
That's 3 fouls on Zavatskis, so 3 Pittsburgh starters now with 3 personals. Page, Zavatskis, and Morris. And that's number 7 on the club, so everything for the remaining 12 minutes will result in free throw attempts for Seton Hall.
And the question becomes just how often they go towards the basket right now instead of settling with that bonus opportunity for them.
Entering the ball game, the Pirates had attempted 384 free throws, last among the 14 teams in the Big East. That's including non-conference games. The only team in the conference which had attempted fewer free throws in conference games entering tonight was their opponent tonight, Pittsburgh. Some moisture on the floor. So the crew here at the Continental Airlines Arena will take care of that. Pittsburgh has lost its last 3 visits here and has won only 4 of 13 times in this building since entering the Big East.
Whether it's moisture, I don't know. It's a lot of mopping going on here. It's not that warm in here. The ice is underneath this floor. Maybe somebody threw something, though, Bob. They're making an announcement right now. That must have been what it was.
Yep. To get information on your favorite Big East team, why not go online at www.bigeast.org for all the basketball and conference news from around the Big East.
Yeah, they're pointing towards in our direction. You can see some things on the floor a little bit. I don't know. It looks like ice
Actually, from our vantage point, we can see quite a few things.
Yeah, right. They're just looking at it. Probably the glare prohibits them from seeing our direction. Kind of crazy that somebody would throw something on the floor.
I asked Ben Howland the other day, how's the team's confidence coming off that thumping of Rutgers the other day? He said, I don't think it's too good right now. We're just trying to remain positive, but we still have some things to fight for. It's a real challenge for coaches. At this point, you know, you talk about the dog days of August, right? The baseball season, well, it's the dog days of February in this sport.
It is, especially with the injuries. I mean, you just got to keep reinforcing to the guys that are healthy. Go out and give me the best effort you possibly can. I mean, they're giving another effort here tonight.
Yeah, geez. Up one with 11:41 to go. An official timeout. You're watching Big East basketball.
Homeowners, call Garden State Brick Base Windows and Exteriors and get a new house without having to move or spend a fortune. That's right. You can give your home a new look and feel, any look you desire. And it just takes one phone call. For years, we've been beautifying thousands of area homes, making them more energy efficient while increasing their value. Brick, stucco, stone, siding, and windows. Quality craftsmanship, most work done within a week. All maintenance-free and fully guaranteed. Let us help you design the perfect look for your home. Call Garden State Brick Base Windows and Exteriors. To find out if our unique products are right for you, call now for a free telephone consultation. It just takes a few minutes. There's absolutely no obligation. 100% financing available. So why wait when a simple call can get you a great new house without spending a fortune?
Call 1-800-248-5585 and ask about our current special discount. Shop from home with our exclusive free telephone consultation. Call 1-800-248-5585.
I have a dream.
Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. I mean, those are the people that pioneered the way for all of us, you know, as African Americans to succeed and go on and strive to be the best that we can be in life. So, you know, those people before us deserve a lot of credit.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
He is the 5-time Big East Rookie of the Week. His name is Eddie Griffin out of Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia. He has only managed to miss scoring in double figures once so far in his Seton Hall career. He's in double figures tonight. And Jim, those 3 block shots tonight for Griffin give him 99 for the season. He's #1 in the country in that department.
And, you know, you start to look at the numbers that he has put up, and you forget that still just a youngster and first-year player. Sometimes, you know, they come in with all this as he did, you know, being touted as the best high school player in the country. And sometimes I think it's a little unfair. You know, i.e. Felipe Lopez when he was at St. John's.
On the cover of Sports Illustrated before he played a game.
Right, and Felipe could never do anything to live up to the preseason hype or pre-career hype for him. And you look at his stats, and what did he do? Score 2,000 points.
That's all.
Yeah, that's all. And terrific career, but he never got credit for how good he was.
Shine up top, good looking down low for Griffin. Now they find it, but instead good step in by Greer, who is 5th in Pittsburgh's career list when it comes to steals. Entered the night with 187 of them. Now Ben Howland once again coupling a timeout with a rest for Mars. He kept him on the bench a couple of extra minutes to extend the rest, and he'll bring him right back in with 11:17 to go. Shine and Morton depart for Seton Hall.
Especially with Morris, with the big guys in particular, if they get tired, that's when they pick up those needless and careless fouls. So it's very good coaching to spare him some extra time on the bench so he can go back out strongly.
And he has 3 fouls, Morris. Greer with the left hand, and D'Alembert sends that in the other direction. Big Sam with his 39th block of the season. He's 6th in the Big East. Left side, Griffin misses everything.
Griffin looked just past D'Alembert too that trip.
Great fast break. Griffin would have had his 100th block, but instead called for the foul.
Griffin with the long shot going awry and going long. Kicks off quickly by missing everything, and it allows the Pitt team to push it up the floor and take advantage of an opportunity.
Brandon Knight, we told you about the big first game against Seton Hall 5 weeks ago. Griffin and Greer, two of the best players in the league, head-to-head.
Just looking, posting up, looking for that opportunity. And Greer holding his ground, giving up a little size. And good work, though, by Griffin. And to get some offensive position, and Greer doesn't let up. He comes up with a steal.
Brandon Knight now with 10 points tonight, so he's in double figures for the 9th time this year, and the 18th time in his career. He's a sophomore. And the Pittsburgh lead is 3. Down low, D'Alembert.
Oh, can't do that. Can't do that.
Now, Will Bush said it's a held ball because somebody got a hand on it. Good officiating as Bush and Corbett combine their vantage points. Possession arrow pointing toward the Pirates with 19 left in the shot clock.
No argument from Tommy Amaker, but sometimes when D'Alembert does not get many catches when he's supposed to get them, then the big guys have that tendency to go when they're not supposed to go, and they finally get the ball. They get a little over anxious, and that may have been a case right there. That's why you have to give it to them once in a while when they're open.
Griffin over Zavatskis. Tipped up, and Zavatskis pulls down the rebound. Knight looks ahead to Gerard Brown, and Torrey Morris cleans up.
He sure does in a hurry.
Timeout, Tommy Amaker. The Pittsburgh lead back up to 5, nearly halfway through the second half.
I think Ben Howland knows what he's doing over there with Morris, doesn't he? Spotting him those extra minutes, getting him to go up and down the floor. This timeout works in his favor also after he busts it going down the floor, working hard.
Take a look at the big guy come into your picture.
Yeah, a couple of guys from Seton Hall getting back, but not quick enough. And Brown running the floor well, Pitt getting down the floor. They're starting to get a little more confident as a group. We can just feel it.
Jim, I mentioned a big win by Pittsburgh on inauguration night over Georgetown. The MCI Center was filled, and I did that game, and Ben did a great job that night of using his timeouts to kind of stem the tide of the Georgetown momentum. The crowd was jumping from beginning to end. The Hoyas were 16-0 at the time, and he did a wonderful job of kind of taking away whatever momentum Craig Escherich's club could have with his timeouts, and eventually came away with the win.
A big part of coaching is just that, keeping the pace of the game as much as you can in your own favor. And I think he's doing a very good job tonight of keeping the pace in his favor.
Tony L, low block Griffin. Zavatskis has 3 fouls. Lane only has 2 points in the second half. Rebound, Ricardo Greer. His 6th. Greer, good look inside Knight. Fake D'Alembert or Tony L off his feet. And gets his former high school teammate to foul him.
One of the things that Pitt has done pretty well as a group tonight is they've been able to cut into the middle of the lane, and the teammates have been able to find them. We've seen Knight do that a bunch of times tonight to other teammates, various teammates, but that time he just drifted through the middle of the floor and he was found.
3 fouls on Tony L, 5 on the Pirates this half. Griffin will get a rest.
Greer wants to close up Barrett.
Outside Knight tries to go by Garrett. The runner won't fall. Morris with the rebound. Nearly everybody but Eddie Corbett went down, and Eddie comes up limping. He looked like he took a shot right across the shins. Coming right at you.
Yeah, 3 guys I believe are going to go down, and you'll see Eddie getting the worst of it right across the legs, and sometimes he's lucky right there. He had room to move back on and didn't get pinned. He could have gotten crossed a little bit. So Jerome Medley can take one just like that. A little bit worse than that, actually. Connecticut Villanova game last week.
Foul on Garrett is 2nd, 6 on the Hall. So the next time Seton Hall whistled for the foul will result in Pittsburgh free throws with 9:20 remaining. On Brown. Left side, Greer wants to go on Lane, shoots over. Rebound pulled down by Reggie Garrett. Andre Barrett blows by Knight, kick out Lane, ball fake. And look at Brandon Knight's anticipation on that pass. 3 on 2 to Zavatskis.
Great defensive efforts are making it happen, though. Great anticipation. A jump steal.
Down the other end, Lane has it rejected, but he's also fouled on the play.
Now Seton Hall is going to be forced to get to the free throw line, though, Bob, as much as possible. So it takes them away from how they've been playing with the long ball for Tommy Amaker. And they're going to need to have to test the waters down low a little bit. Keep getting those free throw opportunities, stop the clock, and knock some of them back. It's only a 65% free throw shooting team, though.
Seton Hall 0 for 6 from three-point range here in the second half. In the first half, the Pirates were 6 for 14. For the season, 38% of Seton Hall's shots have been three-point attempts. Entering tonight, they had attempted 539 three-point attempts, the most in the Big East. Providence second, but 50 three-point attempts behind the Pirates. Seton Hall had attempted 153 more three-point attempts than their opponents.
And they do make them, right? They're number 10 in the country right now in terms of makes per game. Duke leading that. Maybe the Tommy Amaker ties to Duke. coming through.
Right side Greer. Pirates in a zone. With Griffin on the bench. Shot clock at 10. Zavatska's three with Gallenberg's hand in his face. Zavatska's has been limited to 2 points tonight. He had 17 in the first meeting between these two. Good ball fake by Morton, but then he lost the handle, and Knight comes from the weak side with another steal.
Knight has been around the ball all evening.
Ball fake, Zavatska's left side, wide open look for Chad Johnson.
Good extra pass, though, right there. Good shot for Pitt. They're satisfied with that other than the miss, but everybody touching the basketball and working, especially at the defensive end, they've picked it up.
Right side, Barrett.
Oh, great hands. Great hands by Knight, huh?
And Knight knocks it away. Now, Brandon Knight is 6th in the Big East in steals, and we are certainly seeing an illustration of that tonight. It's his 4th of the night and his 51st of the season. Pittsburgh up 5, timeout.
See your authorized BMW center for lease and finance options.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate competitor. Go G-O-A-T, etc., etc. Light years ahead of ya. They chose me instead of ya. Corny cats is better to give praise to the greatest. Silence all challengers. LL ambidextrous, switch the left hand on ya. Leave it on the floor, pure, raw stamina. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor.
Elaine Lee starts a new job on Monday. She knows to roll over her 401k. She doesn't know that rolling over company stock could one day cost her thousands in extra taxes. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Pittsburgh by 5, 7.5 remaining. Time now for the Beck's Beer game summary. Panthers shooting 41% from the floor. Great night for Ricardo Greer.
Really started out in the first half very, very well with 19 points now, and Seton Hall going to the line, take 12 or 14 free throws, and look at the last 4 games, only 12 or 25 with Griffin chipping at 17.
And a very significant game in the standings for a couple of reasons, one of which is you don't want to fall to the bottom, because the team that finishes last in the division doesn't make the Big East tournament, and Jim, Rutgers has beaten both of these two teams and will play each one again. So Rutgers could have an opportunity to leapfrog over one of the two or both.
Exactly. As we talked about before the game, the teams that are fighting for these positions just seem to be turning around and knocking one another off day by day, so it's kind of keeping everything interesting.
Pittsburgh has 8 days off, believe it or not, after tonight's game, and then we'll play Rutgers again. They just played the Scarlet Knights 4 days ago down at the rack. In the lane, Morris is fouled. That will be team foul number 7 on Seton Hall, so it will be 1-1 for the Panthers. The rest of the schedule for Pittsburgh, we mentioned that 8-day layoff, then the return engagement with Rutgers, then a tough one at the Carrier Dome, and then their final game of the regular season against Virginia Tech. Ben Howland's club is tough at home, but only 2-8 on the road. Morris can't convert the free throw. Foul on D'Alembert, by the way, was his 3rd. Griffin remains on the bench. Getting a good long rest here.
Just thinking the same exact thing. How long is he going to be there?
Shine, left side 3, no good. Lane, great hustle to deflect the rebound to Garrett. Garrett had the right idea, but Brandon Knight is like a free safety. His 5th steal of the evening. Zavatska's dribble drive comes out the other way and draws the foul on Garrett.
See a little change of pace the way both of these teams are approaching the offensive end of the floor. Seton Hall still shooting the ball a little on the long side, whereas Pitt continues to come down in the middle of the lane and throw the bodies out there a little bit.
Instead, Jim, they're going to call the foul on D'Alembert, his 4th.
Terrific drive along the baseline and just getting yourself to the line, especially when you can shoot him at about 84% or so. Nice little move to give him a little stretch of 6-point lead. All of a sudden, this clock starts to come into the picture a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, so now Griffin returns as D'Alembert sits down with his 4th. We mentioned that he got into foul trouble in their first meeting. Sam didn't start that night in Pittsburgh, or that afternoon, I should say. Came off the bench and had 12 points and 4 rebounds, but left with his 4th foul with 16 minutes to go. The game really turned around with him on the bench.
We'll see if Eddie Griffin gets involved in the blocks.
They're looking for him.
They're looking for him. So is Pitt, though.
Yeah, Zavatska's doing a great job at denying. Here's Lane for 3.
Good tip. Good tip.
Garrett deflects the rebound out to Shine. Seton Hall now 0 for 8. Second half from 3-point range. Shine with great penetration, but couldn't finish. Lane with great hustle. And Morris. Now the foul won't be on Morris. They're going to call it on Jerron Brown. Morris blocked the shot, but Brown got him from the other side.
I thought Knight got away with a little bit of a hand check to start that whole sequence off with Ty Shine in the middle. Little left hand on the ride, and then all of a sudden Lane triggers it. Brown takes a shot there. I thought he got right up afterwards. I thought he was going to be injured for a little bit.
Darius Lane with his 16 points tonight has scored in double figures 20 times in his 22 games this year, and the 44th time of his career. Preseason first team all Big East selection. In their first meeting, Lane was just 3 for 13 against Pittsburgh and 2 for 8 from 3-point range. 2 big misses.
Well, they sure were. They were very, very big misses right there. We go on to 6 minutes.
Pirates 12 of 16 from the foul line. Good news is they're getting there. Knight goes by Shine, gives to the trailer. Morris, little head fake in the air, hung in there, but couldn't finish.
Well, the country's best shot blocker was hanging around that trip.
Looking for triple digits in blocks.
He really was. Morris almost put that ball down.
Griffin with the catch and shoot. Rebound, Jerron Brown at the 5:25 mark. 7-point Pittsburgh lead. It was 35 all at the half. Jerron Brown defended by Lane. Now Knight guarded by Ty Shine.
They're not in any hurry to take bad shots, are they?
Well, Zavatskis gets by Garrett. Penetrates, leaves for Morris. The rebound off Zavatskis' shoulder. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Shine with the up and under. Rebound baseline. Garrett, he's been all over the place. Lane for three. Great look.
Fans starting to let him have it a little bit with the shot selection, I guess. Not happy with the play, but Seton has to tighten up the defense a bit with the last 11 field goals not going their way.
Knight looks like he wants to beat Shine off the dribble. Fade away. Rebound off the hands of Zavatkis to Knight, and a fresh 35 on the shot clock.
And Ben Howland quickly calling to bring the ball back out, take more time off the clock. When you start to think, if you're Seton Hall right now, you start to press a little bit.
Now Ben Howland will call time with 16 seconds left on the shot clock, which can accomplish two things here. You set up a play and you give your team a badly needed rest.
And you look up at 4 minutes and 1 second. Aren't we nearing another one of those TV timeouts too, huh? So he's trying to stretch it out a bit again for the next dead ball. So he's really using the clock and the combination of the timeout very smartly tonight.
We'd like to remind you tonight's game is produced and distributed by ESPN Regional Television Incorporated. The Pittsburgh Panthers began the year by winning their first 5 and 6 of their last 7 at 12-11. That's only 1 win less than they had a year ago. 4-8 in the conference, only 1 conference win less than they had a year ago. Had a terrific non-conference season, 8-3. And trying to gut one out here on the road, shorthanded with Isaac Hawkins sitting it out with a sore foot. Again, 16 seconds left on the shot clock, and let's see what the Panthers set up. Seton Hall goes 2-3 zone.
And Pitt will be happy to take most of the shot clock down.
Knight, Garrett. Barrett got a hand on it. Here's Shine, 3-on-2. Shine all the way to the rim, and he'll get to the line.
Yeah, good effort there defensively. Pitt willing to take that time off the clock. And what happens sometimes, you don't get a real good look. Because of it, you start to push a little bit. The shot clock winding down, and Ty Shine will just sacrifice the body here to get to the free throw line. Thought Greer was going to go up and try to block that shot.
Greer becomes the 4th Pittsburgh starter with 3 personal fouls. Shine at the free throw line makes the first. There you see what Shine has done tonight. In the first meeting between the two, he scored 5 points, but was 0 for 4 from three-point range. And now we'll get that official TV timeout. But Pittsburgh leads Tommy Amaker's Pirates by 5.
All-wheel drive available on the 3 Series sedan and sport wagon. Test drive a BMW with all-wheel drive at your local BMW center.
They invest their time, their energy, and their talent in our future. But when it comes to their future, people in education turn to TIAA-CREF. For over 80 years, we've provided financial solutions to some of the best minds in America. Now investors everywhere can plan for tomorrow with TIAA-CREF mutual funds. TIAA-CREF, ensuring the future for those who shape it.
Tonight's game has been brought to you by BMW. Test drive the ultimate driving machine at your local BMW center. And by Cooper Tires, a lot of mileage for the money. Cooper Tires, drive on. And by Beck's, a beer apart. Seton Hall down 5, 3:42 to go. And Jim, the Pirates won their first 5 and started out 10-2. That seems like a lifetime ago. Their postseason life could be on the line here in the last 3:42.
Well, you can just imagine some kids and coaching staff at Rutgers University are watching this basketball game, I would think, because it looms very big for them. If Seton Hall loses this basketball game, it gives them, within a game and striking distance of them.
They will play each other, Seton Hall and Rutgers, next Wednesday night in Piscataway. Rutgers came from 17 down to beat Seton Hall here on February 4th. Panthers have run the shot clock all the way down to 10. Jerron Brown.
Good mismatch here.
Zavatsky's down low. D'Alembert with 4 fouls with the block. 1 second left on the shot clock.
And they caught Ty Shine. I think it was the right call also.
Not a foul, just off Shine.
Right,
1 second left.
D'Alembert just has to be ready to defend the lob. Nice play.
And D'Alembert gets the block, and what do we have here? He fouled out of the game.
What a play.
Samuel D'Alembert fouls out of the game, blocking a shot as the shot clock was expiring.
But look at the smarts by Brown, though. The smarts by Brown to understand that he couldn't enter that basketball to anyone. Defender has his back to him. Wasn't that Brown shooting the ball, though? Brown's got to go to the line, though.
Wow. That does change things, doesn't it?
I'll tell you, Bob, that 5-point lead here for Pitt. Not for the smarts of Brown just then. Seton Hall has the basketball back. And now they really have a chance to go down 7 right here.
The 5th time this year that D'Alembert is fouled out of the game. Replaced by Eddie Griffin. And keep in mind, 1 second left on the shot clock. You're going to throw the inbound. What do you do?
This is perfectly legal, too, by the way. Just as long as you get your feet back in bounds. Perfectly legal and smart play. And the reason Brown was trying to avoid going to the free throw line, he shoots at about 44%.
But getting D'Alembert out of the game was a huge factor, or at least could be. Remains to be seen how big.
It's one of those things, too. Defensively it is, but offensively, Seton Hall would probably want to go with the smaller lineup anyway right now, and probably defensively also, because they'll probably have to start picking up a little bit if they don't score right here.
So the lead up to 6 as we hit the 3-minute mark.
They're going to start going to the basket, not settle just for the outside shots, but remember their style of play is to look almost for the 3 first.
Shine penetrates and draws the foul.
Shine's one of the guys on this team who, even though he does shoot the ball from long range and will take his share of threes, does have the understanding of how to get the ball into the middle of the floor.
Shine was 4th foul, by the way, on Ricardo Greer. So the Panthers now Greer with 4 and 3 each on Page, Zavatskis, Morris, and Jerron Brown. Shine with a chance to cut that deficit. We mentioned the injury to Shaheen Holloway against Temple early in round 2 of the NCAA tournament. Ty Shine came through with a career-high 26-point effort that day. 7 3-point field goals.
I had the pleasure of working that day. Watching that game was a terrific story for Seton Hall.
Well, unfortunately, Holloway not able to play a week later in the regional semifinal in Syracuse when the Pirates were eliminated by Oklahoma State. The lead is 5. Knight down low. Morris on the double team. Morris was open and he looked like he might be a little bit short on the energy.
Short on the energy and drifted away from the basket.
Barrett penetrate, kick out Shine for 3. Long rebound comes to Morris.
smarts right now by Pitt. Just establishing another set offensively with 2 minutes left exactly.
Jim Seton Hall has been without a field goal for 13 minutes. They've missed their last 12 shots. They're not going to beat anybody that way.
That's for sure. Knight just really running the clock down again.
Zavatsky for three.
It's huge. That's huge.
The lead is now 8 for Pittsburgh. With 1:30 remaining. Griffin for three. Gets it right back.
Sure.
Timeout Seton Hall.
Good call by Tommy Amaker, and a huge shot at the other end for Griffin. Keeps them within striking distance. Still plenty of time. 1:29 left.
Griffin now with 20 points with that three. It's the 12th time in his career that he has scored 20 or more. But the Zavatsky's three was a backbreaker.
And Knight directing traffic again. Look at the way he brings defenders to him. You leave somebody wide open. Zavatsky with the shot. And Eddie Griffin comes down and answers very quickly. The key thing about the Seton Hall answer was, as you had just touched on, what was it, 13 minutes you'd said about not getting a field goal. They come back and get one that arguably could keep them in this game and give them a shot. If they missed that last shot, I'm not so sure they would have just not melted as a team after missing that. But Griffin with a big-time step up.
Not only did it end a 13-minute drought, it also was the Pirates' first three-pointer for the second half. They're now 1 for 11 from behind the arc.
Let's see how Knight controls the flow. I'm sure he's going to try to get the ball back.
The lead is 5, 1:20 remaining. The key matchup, Barrett on Knight, because the ball is going to be in Knight's hands.
Two-possession game right now. Pitt looking to make it 3.
Barr sets the screen. Knight goes under, feeds Zavatsky. Goes up with the left. It's swatted away. Griffin pulls it down. And we have a reach-in foul on the Panthers.
Griffin will go to the line after the defensive stop. Did he hit block shot number 100 yet, or is this it? Griffin right there. Look at the way he stays away.
Yeah, you got to give him a block for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Foul is on Zavatsky. That's his 4th. So block shot number 100 for Eddie Griffin, the freshman from Philadelphia. Ooh. Big miss for Griffin. So the lead sits at 5 with 1:04 left.
Seton Hall needs to stop right here.
We'd like to welcome those of you who have joined us on ESPN News. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Jim Spinarco. We are at the Continental Airlines Arena, East Rutherford, New Jersey. 59 seconds remaining. Pittsburgh leading Seton Hall 61 to 57. The Pirates center Samuel D'Alembert fouled out a moment ago. And at the free throw line now for Pittsburgh is Donatas Zavatsky, who is the Panthers' best free throw shooter, 84.6% for the year.
And Seton Hall electing to foul him along the sideline. Maybe not as quick as Tommy Amaker would like, but they get one right there because you don't want to foul the best free throw shooter on the opposition, but if you can at least miss one, it gives you a chance. And still a 4-point lead with just under a touch under 1 minute to go right here, so plenty of time. Time to think positively as a player.
The foul on Eddie Griffin was his 3rd. Ben Howland takes the timeout with 59 seconds left. Pittsburgh playing tonight without its starting center, Isaac Hawkins, who is out with a sprained right foot. It is a shorthanded Pittsburgh team, and throughout the evening, Ben Howland at every possible opportunity has used his timeouts to try to give his limited troops, at least in terms of numbers, extra rest. Now let's take a look at the BMW ultimate drive of the game as we look at Pittsburgh redshirt freshman Jerron Brown.
Well, it wasn't the longest drive of the year, but it sure was possibly the smartest as he kicks the basketball in off Morton, who had his back turned. By the way, there was only 1 second left on the shot clock just then. That's why it was maybe one of the smartest plays we've seen this season, at least tonight for sure. Real smart and thinking man's move just then.
There's your game reset. timeout picture. Both teams in the double bonus. And that play by Brown resulted in Gallenberg fouling out of the game. Barrett defended by Knight, who's been terrific all night at each end. Lane in traffic, and Jerron Brown with a huge strip. And now Seton Hall has to reach out and foul, and Eddie Griffin commits his fourth.
Boy, Brown timed that well again, huh? After we just pumped him for making a smart play at one end. Comes up with a good steal at the defensive end. And watch the strip. Now Lane's doing what he has to do here. He wants to get to the line, but Brown strips it cleanly and retains the basketball. One thing missing is knocking back the free throws. You look at the number, 44% on the season.
This was a tie game at the half, 35 all. Seton Hall went 13 minutes without a field goal in the second half before Eddie Griffin hit a three-pointer.
So if he hits this one right now, it kind of forces Seton Hall to go for a three. If he misses, I think he can still drive to the basket. Now they may have to go three right here, though.
He is 6. 40 seconds left. Shine has done a great job of penetrating. He will get to the line. Everything will be 2 shots for the rest of the way. Seton Hall dead last in the Big East in free throw attempts. Far and away the leader in the conference in 3-point field goal attempts and 3-point field goals made. They're 10th in the country in 3-point field goals made. 5-point game. Shine, a junior from Augusta, Georgia.
Right now from Seton Hall is you're going to try to stretch this clock out as much as you can. 40.1 seconds. You go for the quick steal. And try to find the right guy.
Pittsburgh not a good free throw shooting team. 60.4% for the season entering tonight. Lane with the foul, so Knight will go to the line. Pittsburgh is 13th in the 14-team Big East when it comes to free throw shooting. And their failure to hit cost them dearly early in the season. In fact, they lost a game at home to Syracuse that could be directly attributed to being unable to make their free throws.
Well, the strategy is if you're Ben Howland and company, you need someone to knock back at least one. You can't miss 2. And what Tommy Amaker and company at Seton Hall are hoping for is at least 1 miss, possibly 2. And it comes down to just knocking them back. Every strategy goes out the door and the window. All Tommy Amaker can do is put them at the line right now, but if they knock them back, so much for strategies.
Brandon Knight playing in his native state of New Jersey for the 2nd time in 5 days. He was at Rutgers on Sunday. Product of Seton Hall prep right on the South Orange campus of Seton Hall University. Barrett goes by Knight, who fouls him into the free throw line. Will go freshman Andre Barrett for the Bronx.
Ben wondering why they're putting him at the line right now and stopping the clock. And sometimes it's easier to sit over here and say you shouldn't be fouling just then.
Pittsburgh this year 12-1 when they hold the opposition under 70. Seton Hall right now sitting on 59 points. Unlikely they'll get to 70 tonight unless they find a way to get this one into overtime. Ben Howland spent 4 seasons at Northern Arizona before coming to Pittsburgh. This is 2nd year at Pittsburgh. Big miss. The rebound. Ricardo Greer beats everybody to the ball.
They don't want to pass it to Brown. They may have to right here.
Jerron Brown to the rack, and that'll do it.
Little elevation, huh? Exclamation point.
Shine, spins, and Knight with the ridiculous reach-in foul with 17 seconds left. Brandon Knight's been terrific tonight at both ends, particularly this end, but that wasn't his wisest move tonight.
No, it was not at all. And Brown is a 44% free throw shooter. What Pitt was trying to do was avoid him and not have him touch the basketball except for being the last man. And he sure was the last man just then. He showed us how he could get off the floor. And Ben Howland has done a very nice job all evening long managing the clock that we touched on with his team that's been injured. Used the timeouts very well this evening.
Seton Hall with 1 field goal in the last 15 minutes. Down 6, 17 seconds left. It will take a miracle. Well, that'll help.
Wow.
If that had dropped, that might have changed things. Instead, Lane forced the foul.
That would have clearly given Seton Hall some life for sure if that went down, turning it into a 3-point game. But now Brown has an opportunity to just really ice this basketball game right here and turn it into a 3-possession game. Just needs one. Excuse me.
This will be a devastating loss for the Pirates. They're 5th in a row. They're 7th in their last 8. And it will leave them 1 game ahead of last place Rutgers in the West Division of the Big East. And those two teams, Seton Hall and Rutgers, will play each other next Wednesday. Rutgers won the first meeting. So if Rutgers can beat Seton Hall and pull even, Tommy Abaker's Pirates, picked to finish 1st in the division in the Big East before the season, they find themselves not even playing in the Big East tournament.
1 field goal in the last 15 minutes. Doesn't get it done.
Trying to draw the contact and the foul. Barrett unsuccessful. Last touch by the Panthers, but it's all academic.
I'm still wondering why Knight is jumping and going close over there. Into the close game, Ben Allen may have the hook out for him. We just got to stay away right now from Pitt, right?
Lane tried to draw the foul, and that'll do it. Terrific win for the Pittsburgh Panthers.
It was a hard-fought game. There was no question about it. I thought Ben Allen and company did a great job of executing their game plan and using smarts, especially his work on the sidelines with the clock.
Eddie Griffin leading Seton Hall tonight with 21. Ricardo Greer leading Pittsburgh with 19. So Seton Hall falls to 12-10, 3-8 in the league. Pittsburgh 13-11 overall, 5-8 in the league. For Jim Spanarkel, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thanks so much for joining us, and we bid you farewell from the Meadowlands, where Pittsburgh beats Seton Hall by a final of 68-61.
At Geico, we're always looking for faster ways to process your car insurance claims. One idea, airlifting claims adjusters right to the site of the accident. We're over the target.
I don't see the car.
It's that little black dot.
They're all little black dots.
Good luck. Oh, your laptop.
Geico Direct. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Fran Healy, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of our Hot Stove Report. On the show this week, we are privileged to have one of the most popular
Greer 5 of 8, Billett 4 of 5, and then Pitt is 5 of 11 from three-point range. Underneath, 3 is Knight, scores on the layup.
Little baseline cut by Knight just then. Rutgers defensively falling asleep along the baseline, and the other guy sneaks in there, and Pitt just hanging around long enough to see if Rutgers can get a roll going offensively.
Billett, oh, tough shot. Going hard and has to turn in midair. Knight had great position on him. 18 points for Billett.
And turning